Hello over there and welcome again to lesson 6 of HTML, and in this particular lesson we are going to look at how to add images on our web page. In our previous lesson we covered the concept of adding favorite icon and page title. In this particular lesson let's look on how we can add images. So if you want to add an image on your HTML, we are going to use the img tag. So we're going to use the img tag, and then within that tag we're going to specify the source of the attribute using the src, and then we're going to specify the alternative text, and then we're going to also provide the measurements of that image on the page in terms of the width and the height. So what is the source attribute? The source attribute specifies the image location or the image URL. The alternative text, the alt text, which means alternative text, it specifies the text that should be displayed when the image is not found. And in addition to that, the alternative text is also helpful to assist tools like the screen readers. So for those who are visually impaired, if they're browsing a website, then they can be able to hear the text, the sound of the text that we provide in the alternative text. So with that said, let's take a practical example in our code and see how we can add one image or two images within our page. So in our previous code, we had created this simple home page, and right now I want to come below this, and I'm going to add one header saying our team, and then below this header I'm going to add the img image. I'm going to add an image using the img tag. So to add an image, I need to make sure that my image is in the same folder as this HTML page, and therefore I'm going to my desktop and I get two images and put them in that folder. So I'm going to my photos or even pictures. Alright, so I come to my pictures here. I want to go to these camera pictures that I've taken sometimes, and I'm going to select these two images, and then I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to the project folder, which is on desktop. So my desktop is right here, and in the project folder HTML project, and I'm going to paste these two images. Now I have three images, this one and this one and the logo image. Now I come back to my code and I insert those images, and how to insert is to use the img tag. And then within the img tag I specify the source of the image, and since the image is in the same file as in the same folder as this HTML file, I'm just going to specify the image name. So the image name is, let me use profile.jpg. So I'm going to type here profile.jpg. Then I'm also going to provide the alt text, and in the alt text I'm going to say my profile picture. Now without adding the width and the length, let me save, and now let me open this page in a browser using the live server. And now when you come here, you can see that the image has been inserted, but the image is flickering on the page. And how do we control that? So we can go back to our page and add the width and the size so that we can control the measurement of the image on the page. So I'm going to add the width and say the width is maybe 200 pixels, and then the height is maybe also 200 pixels, so that I can have a square image. So let me save, and now when you go back to your browser, you can see the image has been reduced to meet that specification of that size. Alright, so let's add a second image, and below here to add a second image I'm going to use the same img tag, and then again specify the source of that image, and now let me use a logo image, and I'm going to provide alternate text and say this is logo image here, and then I'm also going to provide the width as 150 pixels and the height as 150 pixels. Then I'm going to save, and now on our web page we have now two images inserted here. So this is a simple way of inserting an image. And now when you come to this and if, for example, you mess up with the name of the image and type a wrong name, the browser will try to locate that image with this name and it will not find it, and therefore if the image is not found, this text will be displayed. So now let's go back to our page, and now because the image is not found, it will display my profile picture. Alright, now those who are using screen readers, those who are visually impaired, if they scroll their hand or their mouse over this area, then the screen reader is going to read loudly with the text that is displayed here as the alternative text, and it is going to read it to the user so that the visually impaired person can know what is on this position of the screen. Alright, so with that said, I want us to stop this here, and then we can advance further in the concept of images in the upcoming lessons. Otherwise, thank you for joining the lesson and see you in the next lesson.